Awesome. We are live on Facebook. I'm so excited. Hello, ladies. Namaste, beautiful soul connectors. I'm Claudia-Sam, and I'm so excited to welcome my friend Stacey Portugal, weight loss coach, to our group today. Hi, Stacey.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad that you're here. Ladies, today we're going to talk about managing your mood without food. This is for driven women who feel stuck in the emotional eating spiral during chaotic times. But before we go into it, I'm just going to introduce myself because I know there's a lot of newbies in the group. And so once again, I'm Claudia-Sam, and I support driven women who feel stuck with where they're at in life, who feel like they're unfulfilled, they've lost track of their purpose, and they're ready to live life with more fulfillment, with more joy, with more on track, with more purpose. And I support them using my tune in method. And I love to bring in experts, guest experts like Stacey, to give you a little bit more juice as to how to bring that fulfillment and that purpose. And especially because I've been hearing from many of you that emotional eating during the pandemic is something that you might have been befriending. And so I thought, oh, what a great opportunity to talk about, how can we manage our mood without food, and how can we know if we're emotionally eating again, and how can we stop? So we're going to go into that. Now, let's start with just arriving in our body for a few breaths. Is that cool?
That sounds good to me.
Awesome. So let's relax our shoulders, and if you're sitting, sit at the edge of your chair, and then close your eyes. Planting both feet on the ground. And as we close our eyes, I love to imagine that we're turning off the external distractions and we're really tuning in to our inner world. And with the eyes closed, we tune in, release any expression on the face, release the jaw and the tongue, and feel your whole body relax as much as it can. I know that wherever you are right now, please use this opportunity to stop and slow down. Even release the belly, any sucking in of the belly that's going on. And then bring your awareness to the nostrils and just notice your breath as it moves in and out. And very gently, let's breathe on purpose, and therefore inhale through the nose and inflate the belly first, then the chest. When you exhale, chest and belly. Deep breath in through the nose, inflate the whole belly, 360 degrees up to the collarbones. When you exhale, just let it go, sink into your seat. We'll do one more together. Inhale, fill up your whole body, widen the lungs, make space in any tension you find. And exhale, release. And very gently, just notice the state that you're in. Notice the difference from before you closed your eyes and now. Before you breathed purposefully. And open your eyes. Thank you for doing this with me. So let me introduce Stacey a little bit so that you ladies know who Stacey is. Stacey is a board certified life coach, and she specializes in health and weight loss. And she's lost 30 pounds, and she was, in the weight loss journey where she was doing all these things, but she realized that it wasn't really working for her. So she's learned so many tools and ways that changed her life and changed her way of eating. And now she helps her clients implement and master all levels of low carb living. And so if you're ready to gain control of your cravings, lose those stubborn cravings and improve your health, then this Manage Your Mood Without Food Tune-In Thursday is perfect for you. Yay, Stacey, I'm so glad you're here.
Claudia-Sam, I appreciate it.
So Stacey, tell us about, how can we know that we're emotionally eating?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. And it's really the first thing that I help my clients with in order to really know if you're emotionally eating, you have to first identify, is this a physical hunger or is it an emotional hunger? So here are a few things to notice. The
Okay.
first is, what are you hungry for? Will chicken breast fill the bill? Or are you kind of floating over toward that pantry? Okay. So it's what are you hungry for? So you have to start noticing, do you need nutrition or are you looking for those quick carbs, some sugar, that kind of thing? The
Mm-hmm.
second thing that you may want to notice is, if you start eating, no matter what it is, are you feeling satisfied, or do you feel like no matter what you do, no matter what you eat, you're just not feeling satisfied? And so these are just a couple of things to help you identify if you're experiencing a physical hunger versus an emotional hunger, because sometimes people think that they're binging or they're overeating because perhaps they are feeling emotional, but
Right.
then they later realize after a little bit of coaching that perhaps they're just not eating enough.
Okay.
But certainly through these crazy pandemic times, emotional eating is pretty high on the list. So anyone who is experiencing that, I can say for sure, you are not alone. You're
Yeah.
not alone.
Totally. I mean, I've never had as many chips as I've had during the
I get
pandemic.
it. I totally get it. It's been really hard. And you know what? We're all human.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And what about portions? Like, would you say that when we eat more, like a bigger portion, it's because we're emotionally eating, or it's just because we haven't filled the void before?
Well, here's what I would help someone with. Here's how I can help someone with emotional eating. Because here's the thing, if you're eating a lot of junk food, portion size, it's only going to set you up for failure. Because once we start with really high sugar, high carby foods, it's a very, very slippery slope, and it gets us back into the cycle of sugar addiction. So the truth is, I help my clients with emotional eating by educating them.
Mm,
And the first thing I help them realize is emotional eating oftentimes is more of a habit. It's sort of a crutch that we've developed over time, even over these past, 8, 9 months, whatever it's been. We've gotten used to, we have this like, script in our minds that we're playing over and over again, such as, hey, I need to amuse myself somehow. I need to get some joy. I need something to look forward to.
mm,
Or the script might sound something like, well, there's nothing else to do, or this is very stressful. I need to soothe myself.
and
But
then we just walk to the pantry and we go like this.
it's like we're not even thinking. It's I'm like, how did I get from the sofa to the? How did that happen? Right? So
Yep.
I try to help people understand that the anatomy of a habit.
Mm,
And it starts with a cue. And maybe that cue is the thoughts running through your head. Maybe it's a certain time of day. A lot of times for a lot of people, it's that transitionary time of the day. It's going from like late afternoon to
mhm.
early evening, and the sun is going down. And for many of us, the sun is going down way too early. It's cold outside. So it's whatever that cue is for you. And then that leads to a behavior.
Okay.
And then that behavior gives you a reward. So this is kind of the habit loop: a cue, a behavior, and a reward. And
Okay.
our goal,
Here.
a cue, behavior, and a reward.
Right.
And the goal is to accomplish that same reward, but with a different behavior. Okay. So
Mhm.
if every single day you find yourself going to the pantry at the same time of day, what I suggest is to do a little exercise that can really have a lot of impact. It's helped a lot of my clients master emotional eating. And that is to implement what I call the power of the pause. And the
Oh,
power
so like not reaching for it yet and like fighting the resistance to.
Well, it's just allowing yourself a pause, maybe a deep breath, maybe taking advantage of that moment to kind of center yourself with perhaps a breath or two, just a few seconds, so that you can slow down, calm your nervous system down, and start noticing the chatter in your head. And once you can hear the chatter in your head, you're going to have a much better idea of what you're really hungry for. Are you actually hungry? Is this a physical hunger? Or are you bored? Are you lonely? Are you frustrated? Are you stressed out? And the important thing to do is to ask yourself the right question. So what am I hungry for? Which we achieved during the power of the pause.
Right.
And then another thing that you should be asking yourself is, what's the most appropriate way that I can satisfy this need? Because if you're feeling bored, certainly food is not an appropriate answer. And so you have to start thinking about, well, and again, that gets back to this habit loop. And the reward is perhaps that, yeah, the reward is like you're bored. So it's amusing you for all of 10 seconds while you chips, right?
10 seconds. It's true.
It is. But the truth is, if you start asking yourself what you're actually hungry for, you may come up with a way more appropriate answer. Like maybe it's time to phone a friend. Maybe it's time to turn on that Netflix movie you've been meaning to watch. So the idea is to satisfy our needs more appropriately.
And I love that, because tuning into our needs is also something that, well, I'm glad that you do this in your coaching as well. And that's also what we do in the Tune In program and in Master Your Self-Care, where we connect to what we want instead of thinking that we want what is supposed to be or what others have steered us to want. And this comes for food as well, right? What we should eat and what we shouldn't eat. So
really like old habits that you've been engaging in, you may not have even realized it, it could have started in your childhood, and it's not really important where it comes from. What's important to know is, as educated, smart women who are willing to tune in, this is a really good opportunity to learn a little bit more about your own behavior, and most importantly, about the thoughts that are actually running through your mind.
I love that, because the thoughts are so bad, and well, they're bad. We love the thoughts. Sometimes we have to tell them, I love you, I hate you, but I love you. And the inner mean girl. So a lot of my clients are saying this, they're calling it the inner mean girl. And ladies who are watching, even if you're watching the replay, let us know, what does your inner mean girl say when it comes to food, when it comes to eating emotionally, or emotional eating? We're curious to know what it is that the inner mean girls say. Stacey, do you have examples of what does these thoughts can be like mean about?
Absolutely. When it comes to this particular subject, things I often hear are something like, I'll never do this. I can't do it. It's too hard. I hear things like, I don't deserve this. I hear things like, but I have to, right? Because in people's minds, they think that this is the only way to manage their mood. It's the only thing they know. So digging a little deeper may not feel super comfortable at the beginning, but certainly as you get more used to tuning in, to listening, the power of the pause, you can learn a whole lot. And it can be really helpful in their work with you too, I think.
Yeah, and I love that, the power of the pause. And often that's something that will be the most resisted, because You know, we have our ego that is there going, I'm here to protect you. You don't have to, you don't like, I see you know, those ads of like the the bald dude for cleaning products. Do you ever see that?
Mr. Clean?
Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
I feel like the ego can be like this, but not with a smile. And sometimes we have to notice what presence is there. And so I love this discussion, and I'm curious, Stacey, because I know that some of the women in this group are wanting to make a change, and I know that you have a kitchen cleanup challenge. I believe it's next week, right?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I do. So on my Facebook page, it's called Sugar Breakthrough Community, totally free. Many of us are looking forward to the fresh start that we're all going to get in 2021. And so with that said, instead of just jumping right back into, you know, any sort of strict eating plan or whatever, we're going to sort of ease our way back in by starting with the most basic thing, and that is our kitchen. We will be talking about how the kitchen is really, it's like your instrument. You know, a well formulated healthy diet plan is the music, but your kitchen is actually your instrument.
Right.
And without a kitchen that is going to be conducive for your success, you will not get anywhere. So we're going to cover, I will be coming live from all the nooks and crannies of my kitchen.
Oh, cool.
And I'm going to help people sort of start from that most basic building block and sort of work their way into feeling a little bit more confident that they have exactly what they need to feel a little better.
That's so fun. I'm so excited. I was just going to ask you, will you be
eating, you know?
I was going to ask you, will you be in your kitchen so we can, yeah?
I'm going to be, yes. I'm super excited about it. I'm already thinking I got to like clean my cabinets or something, you know?
Yeah. At the same time, you know, no one has a perfect kitchen with no crumbs in the cabinets.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And that's the reality, especially right now during this quarantine. Many of us have other family members living with us. So we're going to talk about all of that, how to manage other people's food so that it's not tempting to you. And we're going to really get people set up for success so they can kind of start bypassing that unhealthy eating that they may have slipped back into.
Oh, wow. It sounds so exciting. So I've put the link to the Facebook group and the Sugar Breakthrough community inside the comments here of this live video, even if you're watching the replay, of course. And but let us know, #live or #replay. I should have said that at the beginning, but it's all good. Stacey, so they go to the group and they can sign up there and get more information on the group about the challenge?
Yes, so they'll see the challenge just by joining the free Facebook community group. It's been around for a long time. It's a lot of women supporting women in lowering their sugar, getting healthy, improving their energy, losing stubborn weight that they didn't ever think that they could lose before. And you can also register for you'll see a bunch of posts on it, but you can register for the replays. And I'm also giving away a checklist for your kitchen. What's in, what's out.
Oh, cool.
So the baking cabinet, the refrigerator, all that stuff. We're also going to be discussing just your budget, because I don't know about you, but I'm spending a lot of money at the grocery store these days. So we'll be kind of prioritizing, you know, do you go organic? Is organic better than local, even if it's not organic? We're going to talk about all that too.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, we could also have a whole discussion on that. But thank you so much for joining our You Have It In You community. I'm so grateful to know you and to be able to support each other in this way and to support our communities. And ladies, please go join Stacey's group, Sugar Breakthrough Community, if you feel like you've been emotionally eating and you want to clean your kitchen and stop the habits of the sugar cravings and lose that stubborn weight that you've been wanting to lose. And if ever you have any questions, just post them in this video comments, in the comments of this video, and Stacey and I will be happy to to answer them. Thank you, Stacey, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Cool. All right, ladies. Have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for joining. Bye.